Day 6. So I got a lot of things done, but not really accomplished. I'll start with the Genestealers. I got the red part shaded down with that Grax Earth shade. I then worked on a lot of the facial features. I figured I was going to go with Joker Orange for the eyes. Agrax Earth Shade wash to increase the depth around the eyes, and probably going to go over it with another orange afterwards as highlight. With the mouth, I started by painting the tongue with Screamer Pink, doing the entire mouth with the Carolberg Crimson wash to give the effect of an open mouth. Hit the teeth with Screaming Skull and a pink horror highlight on the tongue. What is left to do for the Genestealers is touch up on the eyes, just go around the model, see if there's any other place I can do a final touch up on, and I think I'm going to edge highlight everything do an edge highlight instead of a dry brush for a few of the red areas, just because of how close they are to other models or other tan parts, and just an experience I've had with the Termagants was, which I'll get to here. For the Termagants, what I did was I got the eyes, both on the face and on the gun, a few touch-ups around the model, and what I noticed with this is when I was dry brushing that I got quite a bit of the Astro Wrath red on the bone-colored parts of the model themselves. So I think in the future I'm going to be careful as to how I do the dry brushing with red. And instead on the Genestealers, I'm going to go ahead and do edge highlights there so I don't worry about contacting too much of the red. The last thing I did was get the fingernails around the gun, and there's two places, kind of a thumb that goes through the stock of the gun, and then another one that's around the handle of the gun. What I have left to do on the Gants is work on the eyes. I didn't like how they came out just because of how tiny the eye socket is compared to a lot of the other models in even the Genestealers had more manageable eyes to get to. Some of these eyes aren't actually showing up, or there's not a little space where the eyes are. I still have the teeth to work on, and I'm undecided as to whether or not. I tried out one with Nuln Oil, and I didn't like the way it came out, and I'm not sure if that's the way I want to go with it. And finally, of course, do the base on it. Deathwing Terminators got the first layer of Ushabti bone on the armor of the the final Terminator, but they're all definitely going to need a second coat just to remove a few of the paintbrush lines that are pretty apparent on it. The biggest thing I worked on today was the Librarian. I touched up a lot of the coats that I already had on them, and in several places they had also been only one paint coat at the time. I also started to paint a little further than I had before, painted the bones and paper on there with Xandri dust. Got a few bits of corn red that are supposed to be red, and hit it with Vallejo gunmetal gray in a few of the places. There's just a little bit of base coating left to do, but I'm happy with where I am at the model for right now. That's everything I worked on today. I feel like it was a lot more than the past few days individually, and that makes sense considering it's a weekend and I had more time to work on it. But anyway, stay tuned for more painting or days of painting.